Welcome to the digital ethno-narrative project of Alyssa, Katie, and Dasim, created for the Family Systems and Diversity course here at the University of Minnesota. For our project, we interviewed a woman who immigrated to the United States from Palestine over 20 years ago, and her Palestinian culture is integral to her identity, her work, and her family. Before we dive into the interview, we will first discuss some background information of Palestinian culture and family structures. As of 2014, the average household size was about 5 people per household. However, family systems are much more complex than just the immediate household, as it extends to neighbors and many relatives. Likely strengthened by the persistent conflicts in Palestine, family is one's primary source of identity and support, as there is little stability otherwise. The majority of those who identify as Palestinian are Muslim, and Islam is integral to many aspects of Palestinian culture, including marriage. In rural areas, arranged marriages are common, however, women still get to decide if they want to marry the man. In more urban areas, couples are usually introduced by family members and spend time getting acquainted before deciding to marry. Traditionally, gender roles in Palestinian culture are primarily patriarchal, as the father of the household makes most of the definitive decisions and is responsible for the financial security of the family. However, the women are viewed as essential to maintaining the structure and harmony within families, as they raise the children, maintain the household, and organize family meals.
United States. 27 years ago.
How old were you then?
21. We are from the Middle East. Specifically, we are from Palestine, Gaza City. When we start the business here, we would like to bring some of our culture, food, taste, habits to Minnesota here. And we choose the Dinky Town. It's close to the university because there is a big a group of students here. They are from the Middle East. They would like to have taste of their home here while they are away from home. We got from my mom, okay? Family together and taking care of each other, it's number one. And that's actually why it is. This business, it's owned by my brother. But my brother, he's not actually involved in it, but he opened it to keep job for me and my sister, and support my mom and my dad from this business. Me taking care of the business, by taking care of it and working on it, it's helping myself, my family, my own family, the same as my sister and her family, and the rest of the people who works here. But that does not mean working in the restaurant. It's not like this is the only thing we need just to concentrate on. It's education. It's one important thing that's for everybody. It's like my daughter, when she was going to the U, she was working in the restaurant here while she was studying. My son, he was helping. My other sister, even she's not working here, but she's helping with the recipe and creating new things. But most important is for all of us, it's you need to get your degree. You need to get your finished education. And then after this, if you'd like to work in this business, that's fine. If it's not, just work in the field that you want. But first of all, you need to have a degree. Not a high school degree, not a bachelor degree, but it is something higher. And this is what actually my own kids, they are doing right now. The other thing that we do have, we believe in, it's something that maybe because we are from Gaza, where it's war and people doesn't have food, doesn't have water, doesn't have electricity or anything. When we are serving food here, we think about the people they are coming to order this food. Yes, we try to have a nice place for them, but me thinking about all other kids or other people in the world, or especially in Gaza, that they do not have this kind of money or ability to find the food or the stuff. So we make sure that the food, it's not because we're gonna sell it for cheap. That's mean we are not taking care about what we are selling to the customers or the amount of food that we are giving to them. That it's a nice amount of food. Sometimes even it's the cost of the food that we sell here. It does not actually match what we are getting from the customer. It costs us more than what we are charging some of the customers for some of the items that it is to make it valuable for everybody. That's one of the things that we, maybe because we came from a poor situation, a poor country, that we still feel for the other people who is coming from.
Yes. How so?
Actually, not me, it's my mom who keep telling me that. Back home or from where we came from, okay, family and relationship and taking care of the family is number one. Here is the way that it is over there. You are close together, you are living. It's not really a lot of choices, it's not a lot of freedom to pick and choose, it's not a lot of things for you to do. Most of the time, being a grown up in Gaza doesn't mean that I have that. If I decide to go and travel or go to another city, it's 2 hours from where I live. It's possible for me because it's still country under occupation. It's not this freedom. So I grew up not like, if I live today, that doesn't mean that I will be alive tomorrow. That's reality where I live. Here, this kind of mentality I came with, I do not want my kids to have the same thing. So I give my kids the freedom to do, like, if they want to travel, just go ahead and travel. You know, if you want to go and study somewhere else, just go. Even it's like, until now, my mom, she is against me why I am here in Minnesota and I only have 2 kids and they are living in California. There is another negative thing about being here. We become more business mind. You think with your brain more than you think with your feeling. That's a good thing sometimes, and it's a bad thing. But that's the way that it's like life here. Like, I didn't think that I will be thinking if I need to make a decision, I'm not how about I feel. It's about how is this effect, what's the worst, what's life here. It's make you think about, make you look for everything from all sides of the picture, not from one side. Back home, you just like with your feeling, and that's how you work. That's one thing. It's sometimes it's good, most of the time it's bad. To me, because I was 21 years old, coming with this kind of experience or stuff like this, it wasn't actually really this hard. It was hard when I had my kids in school and they were young. That was the hard part for me. We are from the Middle East. We are Muslim and we speak a different language. You are a different color too. You are not white, but you are not black too, you know. So you cannot, nobody can call you white, nobody can call you black, so you are in the middle. When most people here, that's what I found out here, it's like, let's, for an example, people who live in Minneapolis, there's a lot of them, they do not know anything about people who live in St. Paul. They are just concentrated in one thing. The image, which like 23 years ago, it's like Middle East, it's a camel and tents. That's it. That's the image for most of people. So kids in the school, when you have your kids and you want them to grow up knowing your culture, knowing your language, knowing everything, it is not something really easy to do here in America. Why it's not easy? Because most of the American people here, they think that the people who's coming from Middle East, they have no education, they know nothing, they still live in tents, which is my kids. They were like very surprised that there's one of our trip we made when they were young, still in elementary school. We went back to, I think we were coming from Dubai, and it's like, oh, so were you in a tent? It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, isn't like only tents and camels and stuff? And in Gaza, yes, you are still behind, you know. But in some of these countries, it's like they are way more advanced than even here. Like we are stuff here, we are just concentrated on the US products, American things and everything. Over there in most of these countries, they are international. Having the kids, like you cannot tell them because you are Muslim, you are better than the other one. Or because they are Christian, they are better than you. It's hard to, which was difficult. It's like you are a Muslim, you are Arab, you speak a different language, but that doesn't put you above these kids and does not put these kids above you. If you want them to respect you, you have to respect them, but doesn't mean that you have to listen to them or follow their way, and they do not have to listen to you and follow your way. The only thing it is respect each other. You know, it's like us as a Palestinian, and my kids, they were in private school all their life. The school that they were in, it's a Jewish school. As a Palestinian Jewish, it's they are our enemy. So my son, when he was in a second grade, I got a phone call that he is in the detention room because when they were introducing themselves, a girl, I cannot forget her name, is Alex. I'm Alex, and I'm Jewish. I'm from Israel. My son, it's like I'm Muhammad, which is the name first of all to start. I'm from Palestine, and Jewish, they are my worst enemy. So teacher, she asked him to apologize for the girl, and he refused. So I got a phone call that this is what's happened, and he refused. For me to make him understand, it is like, yes, okay, he did not say anything wrong. Okay, I'm not gonna tell him that he said anything wrong, because the year before we were back in Gaza, and the thing he saw over there, okay, I cannot tell him that forget what you saw over there, you know. Or in her mind, she believed what they are doing, they are right, and you cannot tell her no, do not believe this. Same way, what you think, it's right, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna go ahead and say it until if you are in a discussion and you need to go ahead and talk about this is what's going on, this is the stuff. But you cannot introduce yourself like this. But I could not tell him you are wrong. So, and I told the teacher, I'm not gonna force him to apologize. He just stated his opinion. He did not say, Alex, you are my enemy. He said, Israeli or Jewish, they are my worst enemy. That's it. So this is something, it's put both of them, that it is like, you need to be proud of who you are, but you cannot be proud of who you are by disrespecting the others, but do not think you are better than them. When he was in high school, I remember he was in DECA. It was like a competition, and he was like explaining something. One of the judge, he told him that he's biased because he's biased to Hamas, because he's from the Middle East, he's from Gaza. I think the way he answered her didn't put her in the judge before after that one, because he's like, why? Because my name is Muhammad, I'm from the Middle East. Do you think that when I tell you something is the truth? You know, I'm telling you facts. I'm telling you what I think. I'm telling you facts. You think I'm biased. Just because you do not like my answer does not make me biased. This is the thing that it's most of the Middle East people who comes, including my sister, they struggle if you are not careful. They either hate who they are and try to cover it, where they are coming from, or they will work and make sure that they stay who they are, accept who they are, and at the same time being part of the culture that they are right now in. My kids, they were in private school.
Right.
Okay, that's preschool, kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. They were in Islamic school, and this is something that my family here, my sister and my brother, even their kids right now, they are in a private Muslim school. They start with this school for them to learn that it's their religion, their culture, the language, the Arabic language and stuff. For me to keep it up with them the same way it is, even when I moved them from that school, because the academic level to it, it wasn't high enough. So I had to move them to another private school, but it has to be academic school, not like something is Catholic or anything. For another 3 years after they've been in American school, they have a private tutor for Arabic and Islamic study at home, so they will know exactly what's to keep up with it, you know. Every year when they were young, we used to go to one of the Middle East country. Like we will go travel in the summer vacation. It will be like a Europe or any other country, but one of the Middle East country, it has to be one of the country that we go to. So they know that there's other kids in another part of the world. They speak the same as you, their culture is same as you, they eat the same food that we serve you here, and for them to keep up with the language. My own kids, they used to get punished if they speaks at home in English. The punishment was no books in English to read, no TV, no going outside. So they need to keep speaking the language because it's easy for them to forget the Arabic. Very simple. They will switch to English, you know. And when they moved to the other school, they add another language, which is Spanish. So it's like, which now they are fluent in the three of them. Like I have my daughter, when she speaks Arabic, people they think that she was in the Middle, she born and grew up in the Middle East, and she just came here. Because when she speaks the language, she doesn't have an even accent in it. She just speaks fluent. She read and she write the same thing in Arabic. My son, no, you can still have, you can figure out he has an accent in Arabic. But he's still like he speak and communicate. Until now, our the holy month they still practice. It's not an option for them. The Ramadan, the holiday, our things for Islam and for our religion, they still have to practice it, even they are not here in the state with me, but because they grew up doing it, so they still doing it on me. If you raise the kids when they were young to the way that you want them to grow up, and you make sure that they understand it, not just by force following, understanding why they are doing it, even when they are not around you, they will keep doing it. And that's what I did. One of the things that there's a lot of stuff my mom, she used to make me do it. Oh my God, I used to hate them. I used to hate them with a passion. But when I came here, or when I grow up and I have my own kids, I understand this one. For my son, as a Muslim, that's one thing, okay? For my son, no, he is free to marry whoever he wants. Not even, she doesn't have to be a Muslim. But as a religion, as a Muslim, being Muslim, and even my daughter, she is more strict than me. My daughter, she covers, she wear hijab, even I don't, you know? But that's her choice, not my choice. Even without cover, she has to marry the Muslim. It's not option for her as much as it, because in our culture and in our religion, women, they follow, or the kids, when you have kids, your kids follow the father religion. So as a Muslim, you cannot marry un-Muslim, because your kids, they are not going to be a Muslim. They're going to follow whatever. If the dad insists, you know, they will follow, which is not okay in our religion. For my son, for boys, they can marry, because it doesn't matter if you are married American, Muslim, Jewish, whatever, you know, they will follow the dad's religion. It's like an example, my brother who lives, the owner of this place, he is Muslim, his wife is American, and she's a Christian. The kids, they follow his religion, and actually both of the kids, they go to a Islamic school. I born and grew up in Gaza, which even with the way that my family raised all of us over there is, as I said, they set the pace. They showed us what's right, what's wrong, and then they give us the freedom to a point within the limit of the culture over there and the situation to do what we want. You know, we used to go to school, mix school. We used to travel by ourselves. We dressed different, not really very strict, you know. And we can have a male friends. Not, we don't have a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. I got married to my husband, which he is born and he grew up in Saudi Arabia. The culture over there in the city where he is very strict, and his family too, they are like women's, you know, they cannot do this, they cannot do that, they cannot go to, you know, travel by themselves, or they cannot have friends, you know, this and that. You know, men, they have the freedom to do whatever they want. So when I have a girl and a boy, and when my daughter, she want to do something, my husband, he's like, why are you? If her brother can do it, she can do it. As long as they are not doing something wrong, I don't care. He has issue with it, but I am the one who has control of raising the kids, so he didn't have really this much to say about it. But in most situations, in general, yes, they do have issue with that one. In culture, even I see some family here of people I know that yes, for girls, it's like, no, it's not okay for her to stay after 10 o'clock outside. It's not for her to go and have coffee with one of her classmates if he's male. Or, oh my God, they cannot have like friends, like gay friends or stuff like this. It's like, I don't have this issue. It's like, if I know how I raised my kids, they are okay. If they did something wrong, they are not gonna learn by me overprotecting them. They need to go and try stuff, you know, and figure out this is what they did wrong and correct themselves. Because if maybe I'm living now, but I'm not there forever for them, they need to learn how to correct their mistakes and their behavior and be responsible for whatever decision they are making, for girls and boys, and I don't care which one is which is not acceptable even from my own mom. You know, my mom, she's still, it's like, ooh. Like she was staying with me 2 years ago, and when my daughter, she has, like she's going with her friends, she does not come home until 2 o'clock because they were doing project. I will be falling asleep, you know, and my mom, she's still awake. She cannot go to sleep until my daughter come back. It's like, and she's like, do you know that? And that she came yesterday. Yes. Yeah, she texted me, she told me she's gonna stay. Like, it's like, how did you, it's like, it's normal. Why? It's like, why you didn't tell me the same thing when my son, he is outside like this? You know, they still have that mentality, or they reach a specific age. My daughter now, she's doing her PhD, and my mom, every time she look at my daughter, it's like, aren't you done with the school? Aren't you supposed to be married and having kids now? Aren't you are too old to be, you know, it's enough for school, you need to go ahead and get married, you know. She saw my son, he's 24. You're done with the school, you have your own job, why you don't go ahead and get married? That's a mentality they have, which I don't have that one. I don't care if they get married or not, it's up to them. I didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
No, you go to the mall or it's just only American things. You know, it's like made in USA, not that made in China, you know, everything. but it is like, it's very like, you don't see like stuff from Europe, you don't see stuff from international, you don't see stuff, different things, and a different people, they are talking about different culture, about talking this routine. You know, you can plan your life a year. I can tell you, like when I was working in another job, every day of my life over there, it's like with minute. It's, you feel like you are a report, you are mechanical. As I said, because I have the freedom back in Gaza, as talking about myself, you know, I'm used to open, like go whenever we want, you know, it's like go to this city, there is different thing you can do, go to this place, you just stop, you just get a cup of tea, you know, sitting on the beach, you do not have to pay a couple of $100, you know, to go somewhere here, everywhere you turn. You just like, you can sit with your friends, you know, on corner of the street and drinking coffee or tea, you know, and you will have fun with that more than you go into a very fancy place here, spending money. And yes, you enjoy it while it is. The minute you walk outside this place, done. There is no effect on you. Back to reality. Okay, we need to do work here, do this one, finish that one. That's it. But it's more stable here. Let's put it this way. You can plan for your fruit, for your future. You can build your future. You can, if you have a dream, if you work for it, you will get it. It's the opposite from back home. You live your day, you enjoy it. Do not think about tomorrow, because you may not be living tomorrow. Or you might be arrested tomorrow. Or something happened to you tomorrow. So that's the only difference, and that's what's the good thing about it here.